a match which RCB should have won on a platter. I would say that they gift wrapped and gave it back to Rajasthan Royals as an Eid gift.
Hello, everyone. This is the Straight Bat with Gulf News and Mr. Great UAE, that is Anis Sarjan. We are here to discuss today's IPL match, that is the Rajasthan Royals 29-run win over Royal Challengers Bangalore. Joining me and Anis is Sanjay, who is an ardent RCB fan, and we also have the Gulf News sports editor, Satish. Before we get into it, let's get the summary from Anis.
Thank you, Sham. Hi, Satish. Hello, Sanjay. Yes, a match which RCB should have won on a platter. I would say that they gift wrapped and gave it back to Rajasthan Royals as an Eid gift.
Sanjay, I know you can't hide the disappointment, but I would say that once RCB is batted, they were never in the match. They never looked like chasing it. What do you say?
To be honest, the moment Virat Kohli went, I gave up 50% of my hopes, because that is where top order collapses. We have seen this is so I can proudly tell this is the 9th consecutive time our top order is failing successfully. So it's again on the pressure goes to the middle order. So Faf was anchoring well. 23 of 20, 23 of 23 of 18 or something. Then he gives away his wicket to Ashwin, Josh Butler, and in the same over, Kuldeep Sen gets Glenn Maxwell for a golden duck, which was a turning point for us. Someone like Maxwell would have contributed some 30-40 runs, it would have helped us. But literally, I am giving up on RCB from 3 years. It's the same scenario. First half will perform such excellently. We'll be on top 3 or top 2. Second half, it will be 7 matches. We'll manage to win only 2 or 1. Even in the last year, it happened same. We were wiped out for 4 matches. We won 3. We qualified because Kolkata lost. Kolkata couldn't complete the match in 16 overs. That is where our net run rate we got and we qualified. This year it's the same scenario. We were hit by the run rate.
Sanjay, let me cut you short there. You said 3 years, and I will say we've been seeing this for the last 15 years actually. Satish, am I right in saying that they are prone to spectacular batting collapses over the last 15 years? What is the reason?
There is nothing wrong in what you're telling, sir. There is nothing wrong in what you're telling. We have been waiting for 15 years, at least for one trophy, and we have still not even managed to get. 2011, it was in our hands. One no ball, it costed. 16, it was in our hands. So-called Watson costed the game. So,
Sanjay, my point is not that. My point is every year. I think if I may be wrong here, but I think if you look at every year, the lowest score would have been by RCB. Am I right, Satish?
Correct, Sham. Sham, I think I keep telling this often. IPL is one game where you can't win with your foreign pros. Bangalore has been always spot on with their international players. They were getting good players there. But there are 1 or 2 holes that has been sinking the ship at the. That's the reason why when you come to the second part of the IPL competition, the pressure mounts. These fringe players who have done reasonably well started feeling the pressure and started succumbing to those pressures. And that's when you start seeing that the ship is sinking. This has happened with Shabaz today. Shabaz was out of sorts in his bowling. He had a wrong call and got Dinesh Karthik run out. And other 2 also, like Patidar and Sayesh Prabhudesai, they were a bit clueless. So I think RCB is going wrong every year in the auction straight away. I think that's where they are failing. In some years when they reach the final stages, it could be a brilliance of either Gale, or it could be the brilliance of AB, or it could be the brilliance of Kohli. But these are the players who have been sinking the RCB ship for a longer time.
Okay, now to get back to the match, Anis, I think RCB started quite well today, isn't it? And Siraj had bowled a super spell, and not just that, they got Butler out. So it was a very promising start, isn't it?
Yes, they had the opposition on the mat with probably 7 for 110, 3 overs to go. and I believe they have dropped a catch of the guy who scored finally
Virat.
runs for them.
Riyan Parag.
Riyan Parag was dropped by Hasanga. But having said that, 145 should have been chased. And like Satish was right on the head, he hit the nail, that the Indian players are not performing. Even though Shahbaz has reasonably done well in this tournament, he had an off day today where he got Dinesh Karthik run out, went for runs. And today this was a chance for him to finish the game. But having said that, Virat Kohli is going through a torrid time with the bat, and he's putting pressure on the other players where you need somebody to carry the role. What Virat Kohli used to do is to hang around till the 20th over, make sure that you bat. And today's was an ideal match where he could have got it 80 runs, 80 balls, 90 balls, and for his 50 and got the game through. But I'm afraid it didn't happen, and they paid the price and lost by 29 runs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, all you needed was one person to bat deep, and the game would have been in their hands. But having said that, a great bowling performance by Rajasthan, isn't it? I mean, finally, Rajasthan did some justice to their bowling talent. What do you say, Satish?
Yep, Shyam. It was a high time that they came good, but it was again a surprise. Kuldeep Sen was not playing, and he came into the game, and he was a surprise package. But I think it was also a couple of things we need to take into consideration. One, the wickets are changing, so bowling first seems to be the better option than. Rather, batting first seems to be the better option than batting second or bowling first. Because last few games, if you look at the teams batting second, are not able to chase the target. Number one. Number two, yes, as the wicket gets worse and the second innings, Rajasthan bowlers bowled at a very good length. The Prasidh Krishna, he actually induced two shots of Kohli. The previous ball from outside the off stump, Kohli tried to play a pull shot, which he didn't connect. And the next ball, he brought it slightly closer to the body. And that's where he made the mistake. It was a well spot out tactics, and even the first over, he was very close. All along, it was a good game, and I need to give credit to my good friend
Sanju.
Sanju, all the credit, because he did a good job today in defending 144. And again, as a batter, he failed. He could have again continued playing a longer innings, but all over it was what expected of Rajasthan as a bowling unit.
Sanjay, well, did RCB lose the match or Rajasthan won the game?
Here at RCB, as Anish said, they just gift wrapped it and they gave the win to Rajasthan. 145, it was actually chaseable on a pitch like Pune. And yes, when your top order collapses, the pressure comes to a middle order. When you see from the bowling angle, our matchups were top notch. We bought in Asaranga for Sanju Samson, and we got him for the 5th time. So Butler and Josh Hazlewood, that was the matchup. Everyone was looking Josh versus Josh. It came up. So even Siraj was good with the ball. He took out Padikkal, he took out Ashwin, who was sent as a floater. Though he contributed something with the bat, 17 runs with 4 fours. Though he managed to pick 2 wickets. So bowling, RCB has become such a team. Like, if you perform well in your bowling department, your batting department fails. If you perform well in your batting department, set a good target. Like, for example, I would tell, we have 2 situations in this year. First match, we set a target of 205, registering the highest score. I mean, for that particular time, that was the highest score. And our bowling just gave it away with 1 over to live. 19 overs, they chased it away like anything, Punjab. So now it is like, as a bowling, we did good. Batting, nothing. It was only Hasaranga was a top scorer, I guess. Hasaranga 25 and Duplessis is 23. Only those 2 were the high scorers. So remaining were like 0, 7, 1, 6, 5, only 9.
No, Hasaranga was 18. Still, Faf was the highest scorer.
Faf was highest.
23. You can't.
And yes,
and that
Anish sir was like, before we go on here, Anish sir was like, 4 days for Ramzan, and he told he wanted to go for a match. I just suggested, sir, that don't buy tickets for RCB match. You might regret it, because we don't know whether we are finishing it with a win or we are finishing it with a loss. It's always a last ball thriller for RCB matches.
Sanjay, you are not an RCB fan, man.
No, but
you have so much confidence in them.
Sanjay, but it's not everything is lost, isn't it? Still, RCB has got 5 games, and if they win, they can
And we
still
need
get
to
it to
win 4.
20.
Looking at the current scenario, we need to win 4 because 2 teams are at 12 points and 3 teams are at 10 points. Punjab is chasing behind us, 8 points. Punjab is chasing. They need one more win to get to 10 points. So there will be 4 teams. The competition is higher, and the NRR is hit again harder today because we lost by 29 runs and will be slipped little more down. So
Sadish is right. RCB, you can't still write off RCB as yet. So Sanjay, I think you still have to have a confidence.
We are giving you some confidence there. Yeah. Cheer up, man.
No. See, like I usually, if I go to stadiums and if I go to matches in Bangalore, no, I look for the teams and I go. I don't go for match against CSK. I don't go for match against MI because those 2 teams, I'm not pretty much confident that we are going to win. I'll go for matches against Punjab, Rajasthan, and Delhi like that. When it's CSK and MI, like I'll back out a little. I don't want to face. I don't want to face sadness on the stadium there. So I have been through it. I had gone for a MI match and we lost with a huge margin. So I never want to see that again. So I back out usually.
Okay, we will take that misery out of it. And let's get back to our Rajasthan again. Rajasthan seem to be making a habit of defending their totals, isn't it? That's one team who's made defending totals a habit, which is completely against the grain with the other teams are following.
Well, out of 7 tosses which he's lost, 6 times they have defended, except the match against RCB where Dinesh Karthik turned the match. Otherwise, defended 6. Yeah. They've lost 1 chasing and 1 defending. So I believe the best thing for Sanju is to make sure put up a decent total. If Butler can give them that sensible start, put up 180. They are a good bowling side to defend.
Absolutely, they have a good variety, good penetration, and they have the 2 of the one of the best spin attacks in IPL. Yes, you're spot on there.
But I think the key should be Sham here is you shouldn't be giving early wickets. Any team that has not given them
you took that out of my mouth because my is coming to you with the question. Don't we think? I mean, if you look back at all the matches, they're heavily reliant on Butler. If Butler doesn't fire, they collapse. So that is a flaw there, isn't it?
Huge, Sham. Like Rajasthan, yesterday, I think I spoke in this show saying that if Butler fails, Rajasthan won't be scoring the runs, and it happened. And we can see that. If in a score he's going to score about 60 to 65% of the runs, and the moment that goes off, it's going to be difficult, and that's where the Rajasthan is going to struggle. And it was a good matchup, and one of the reasons why Butler is not able to score in international cricket is he was psyched out by Hazelwood. Yes, that's precisely what has happened. He was a little clueless. Otherwise, if he would have seen through the initial spell of Hazelwood, gone on the attack later on, could have still scored runs. So I think that's one thing. Even every team is adopting a new strategy. If you look at Sham yesterday, for that matter, even Punjab, proper play, they were not going after the bowling. They're taking their time. And then the last 10 overs, even you can score 100 runs. So I think that tactics should be safeguard your wickets as much as you can and minimizing the risks.
Yes, you can see that because the power play, they're not really going hard, really. But the thing is, if you look at the RCB, Rajasthan lineup, there's a gaping hole in the middle. They tried using Karun Nair, and today they brought in Daryl Mitchell, and that didn't work out, really, Anis.
Yeah, it's first match. I've always believed it takes a couple of matches for any player, foreign player especially, to get his eye in. And nonetheless, to be very honest, Karun Nair had not done anything great. So they got a guy who could also bowl and who's a decent batsman. So it was not a bad call. They dropped Obaid Makai, who had a bad game last time. But in all, to me, RR looks to be decent team. And if Butler and Padikkal and Hetmeyer give them the runs, they can defend a target, I feel.
Okay, coming back to Sanjay, do you think RCB will make the last 4?
It all depends. We have 5 matches left, and yes, all 5 matches. One team to look out for is we have
6 matches left. No, 5 matches left.
Five matches.
No, we have 1 match against SRH. So SRH we are playing 2. We have 1 match against SRH that should be played very carefully. And I think Saturday's match is also very important for us. It's against Gujarat Titans. They have one of the best bowling lineups: Rashid Khan, Lockie Ferguson, and and some good bowlers they have. So at least against Gujarat Titans, we need some good win. Not with I would not sell with margin, because even they are a team which we have to look out for. They have chased the targets and they have defended the targets as well. So keeping everything in that, yes, Saturday's game is very important for us. And yes, looking at the top order's performance, like Hasaranga is in such a situation that if you want your top order to fire up a player who is performing good for RCB, he might have to sit and we might have to get Finn Allen to fire in the top order. That is the situation with the overseas player. We don't have proper Indians. So if you want to bring in overseas, someone like Hasaranga has to sacrifice, then that will be a major loss in the spin department. So RCB is like, you can tell they are no way going further, or like they don't have idea. Like we didn't do well in the auctions at picking the openers. Anuj Rawat was given enough chances and he didn't prove himself.
I don't think sacrificing Hasaranga is a good idea because he's been the standout bowler already. Anyway, before we wrap up, please tell us about the competition.
Oh, yes. You got to predict every day going on your favorite page, Gulf News, and predict the winner. Today, I predicted RCB that after they put up 145 to chase, I thought they will win. But they couldn't. And that's what is the beauty about this game. This IPL gives you surprises. But what you win is a beautiful track set with a cap as well as a digital subscription of Gulf News.
Okay, that's for the readers, and let's do our round of predicting for tomorrow's match. The high-flying Gujarat Titans meet the Sunrisers Hyderabad. Gujarat has won 6 of their 7 matches, and Sunrisers won 5.
I will go with Gujarat Titans, Shyam. Absolutely. They are a rounded team and they have been tested. And Hardik Pandya has been a revelation this tournament. Plus, I would say like David Miller is coming and compensating, and he is equally dangerous. So I think they are the team to look out for. And I think if I remember right, my pick was Gujarat Titans when Anis Bhai asked me who was your favorite to win the title.
Okay, fine. Who is your pick?
I'll go with Sunrisers because of the bowling attack is much more potent. Yes, Gujarat also is potent, but they depend a lot on the batting of Hardik Pandya. And if they can knock off Hardik Pandya, I'm not sure whether the guys like Miller and all can give them that runs, but it should be a tight game.
Sanjay, I know this is not an RCB game, but between Gujarat Titans and SRH, whom do you? Huh?
Yeah, looking at the form, I would tell SRH because Williamson has not lost a toss. Keeping the base, so if Williamson manages to win, he'll obviously choose to bowl first. So based on that, as Anis told, apart from Pandya, there is no one who's contributing, not the openers or not the middle order. David Miller, he played only one match where he scored that 88 or 89.
94 not out.
Yeah, 94. Yeah, 94 not out against him. Remaining that Hardik Pandya has been the major contributor, 50, 80, 65, 57. So I think Natarajan or Marco Hansen can easily pick him up. So based on the Sunrisers bowling, I would tell it's Sunrisers match.
Now it's my turn. I know it's very tempting to go with Satish's pick of Gujarat Titans simply because they've been so dominating. In fact, that's been the only team which has been dominant in this edition of IPL. But I will go with Sunrisers Hyderabad because they are the underdogs here. And not just that, I think I like a team which comes who punches above their weight actually. So every year Hyderabad has been a side which actually does more than what the talent is on offer. And the way the Williamson has been rallying them around has been brilliant. So I will go with Hyderabad. So there's 3 of us for Hyderabad, and Satish, you are the lone man for Gujarat.
Okay.
Let's see how the matches unfold tomorrow, and at least I hope we get it right tomorrow. So that's it from us today, and thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for tuning into this for the latest updates and developments, please log on to gulfnews.com and all our social media channels. Good night. See you tomorrow.